primera conferencia de Xbox en la Gamescom de este año. A ver qué sorpresas nos tiene Microsoft. Espero que esté guay, que esté chido. Normalmente Microsoft tiene buen porcentaje de bateo en sus conferencias. Últimamente los de unos años para acá así lo ha demostrado. Sí le tengo bastante fe a Microsoft en esta generación, porque pues bueno, con acciones ha demostrado que pues bueno, se pueden hacer las cosas, ¿no? Pero pues vamos a ver qué tal. Hasta que empiece, ya va a empezar. Mientras déjenme mandar el tweet. Pues cuéntenme cómo se encuentra. Sí me agarró un poquito por sorpresa. Yo pensé que iba a ser mañana. Y no. Era hoy. A ver. Ahí está, ya empezó. Dos. Ajá. Ok. Pues dos entonces, dice. Xbox 2, confirmado. ¿Se confirma el Xbox 2, banda? Ay, ay, ay. Pam, 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 pam. 60, güey. Ah, por cierto, banda, ya está el nuevo episodio del podcast de Efecto Mandela Podcast en su versión en Spotify. Pueden pasar ustedes a checarla. Sobre los videojuegos necesitan un modo fácil. Ahí tanto Luis como yo tenemos opiniones bastante en contra de una de la otra. Ahí lo pueden checar. ¿Qué onda, Gastirri? ¿Cómo estás, mi estimadísimo buen hombre? How are you, my friend? A ver qué nos trae el Microsoft en esta ocasión. Creo que en esta generación sí le tengo fe a Microsoft, la verdad. 18-18-18-0Z. Microsoft Flight Simulator, ok. Sí, el Microsoft Flight Simulator está excelentemente bien hecho.
And welcome to our Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Later on, we'll take an extended look at Forza Horizon 5. There's
Va a
so
haber
much
Forza
going
Horizon
into this, and Playground
5.
Games' vision of Mexico is muy bonito.
México es muy bonito. Ah, vaya. Para nosotros los pobres que no viajamos, hey, que debo de decir algo. O sea, si tú quisieras una consola o una computadora que pueda correr ese juego como fue pensado, te alcanza tranquilamente para un viaje a Europa. ¿Qué onda, Diego? ¿Cómo estamos? Lead Game Designer. David Lubruiga. O sea, ¿cuánto? Un Xbox Series X son 14,000 pesos mexicanos. Eso tranquilamente te alcanza para ir a Francia. O sea, bueno, a lo mejor de ida y vuelta, llegar al aeropuerto y regresarte, pero te alcanza. Sí le hicieron la onda de que pareciera como una bodega, ¿no? ¿Cómo estás, Diego? Qué milagro que te das una vuelta aquí a saludar a la banda. Se ve que este nuevo Dying Light va a estar bueno, ¿eh? Le están tirando muchas flores por todos lados. Así que, hey, vamos a ver. Gustavo versus Brando. Esta ciudad. Soda y hamburguesas. ¡Córrele que te cae la migra! Ay, pero eso es lo malo de todas las distopias postapocalípticas, ¿no? Donde pues la gente, con todo y de que el mundo se está yendo al carajo, en vez de unirse como para reconstruir y acabar con una amenaza en común, terminan matándose entre ellos, ¿no? Porque pues humans. No mames, nadie sobrevive eso, güey. Nadie sobrevive eso. Qué chingados. Me da la impresión de que tomaron muchas cosas de Metro Exodus y nada más le pusieron parkour y ya, güey, ya es Dying Light. Ah, chinga, yo dije, no mames, falta que sobreviva eso. Ya. Es que es bien sabido, banda, que si azotas tu arma en el piso, generas una onda expansiva que tira a los enemigos. Es bien sabido esa técnica. ¿Qué chingados con eso? Yo sé que videojuegos que lo tienen que hacer divertido porque pues, videojuegos, ¿no? Pero, ay, güey. Si es un tipo que no tiene superpoderes o esa arma no tiene esa característica, qué chingados, güey.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to
Hay
the
zombies,
first game,
Emilio. Sí,
and we are
sí,
showing
bueno,
some
sí,
of them in
tienes
this
razón.
trailer. The vault kicks being the most
Videos,
important to me
juegos.
personally.
Vámonos
It
full
brings a whole new fighting
ridiculez.
style to the game.
Está bien,
The
sí,
player can
te la
stab
concedo.
an enemy and use them to perform further attacks. For
Sí, pues
example,
si hay
by
zombies, pues
rebounding
ya,
from their
¿no?
bodies,
Está bien.
jumping of them
Tienes
onto
toda
other
la
ones,
razón.
and so on.
I think we captured the movement really well and made it quite simple for the players to perform. I can't wait for them to try it out and tell for themselves how much they loved it.
It's definitely going to be useful. The city's buildings are higher than anything we have done before, improving its verticality.
Sí, sí se ve que este
Players
juego le va a hacer
will
mucho
find a way
énfasis
to
al
reach
juego
those
vertical,
skyscrapers
a que tengas que
and other
trepar
challenging
edificios
spots
y
too.
andar
And it's good
changueando
we've scattered some
entre
helpers
uno y
around,
otro.
like a paraglider, which can support players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna
Exactly,
do great,
exactly.
especially in fights against
Exactly,
humans,
dice.
which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so people adjusted. They are much
los
bolder
bots,
now, at
hombre.
least during the day.
Nomás no
And they are
dejan en
more
paz,
vicious
cabrón.
too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. No mames, en diciembre.
For the
Qué
first time in
hueva.
the storied history of
¿Por
the
qué sacan
franchise,
juegos en
Microsoft Flight
diciembre?
Simulator launched on a home console with the release on Xbox Series X and S last month. Reviewers and gamers alike were blown away by how well the
Emi, ¿no le
stunning
puedes subir un
visuals
poco
and
la
depth
transmisión?
of the simulation
¿Simón?
translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely honored to welcome the head of Microsoft
Ahí está
Flight
bien.
Simulator, York Newman, to the stream. York, thank you for being here. The last time we met was at the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was getting ready to come out on consoles. How did that go?
Ah, sí, Spider-Man sale en diciembre, el 17 de diciembre, pero los juegos es como...
was really just amazing.
Ey,
Both from Xbox
dejen a
gamers
la
and
gente
from
de
the
la
press, they've
industria
been
también
so
irse de
gracious with their
vacaciones.
feedback.
Qué chinga. O
I don't
sea,
know if you know, but
es que
Flight
no
Simulator
tiene
is
caso,
one of the
les
highest
voy a decir
rated
por qué no
games
tiene
on
caso
Xbox
sacar
this
juegos
year,
en
which
diciembre.
I think is just
Uno,
great validation,
para diciembre la gente
that
ya
the
se gastó su
that the
dinero.
translation of the
Ya se la
simulation to
gastó
the
porque
console has
lo que
been-
tenían
it's
pensado,
really worked
los
well.
regalos de Navidad ya los
Our
compraron
usage numbers are through
y
the
ya
roof.
lo único que les
We
queda de
are
dinero es
absolutely
lo de la cena de
shattering
Navidad.
franchise records, and I can tell you, there have never been more people
Aparte
playing
de que
Flight Simulator
vienen,
than right
al
now.
menos
It's
en
an awesome time.
That is awesome.
algunos
Congratulations on the
mercados
launch,
donde se
really.
acostumbra, como
But
aquí en México o en Estados Unidos, del Black Friday, ¿no? Que es en noviembre.
All right.
O sea, ya para esas alturas,
wanna go
para
to the danger
mediados de
zone.
diciembre,
So
la
what's
gente ya
going
no
on with
tiene
Top
dinero
Gun?
There's
para
so
comprar
much
un
going
juego.
on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick earlier.
¿Qué diferencia
The
hace
fans are
si
super
sacan el
excited.
juego en
They saw the
diciembre a
FAQ,
lo
they
sacan en
can't wait to
febrero?
start flying. And as you know,
Absolutamente
it comes out
ninguna.
later this
Sáquenlo
year
en
as free
febrero.
DLC
coño.
alongside the movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we. So I can still not tell
El
you
Black
that
Friday
much
es una
about it.
mentira, sí.
But there's
Sí
so
que lo
much else
es.
going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly big releases that we've been doing for a long time. And next month, on September 7th,
De nada,
we are launching
Diego.
World Update 6. And this World Update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane
Yeah,
flying into
yeah.
Cologne. Well, we did
Creo
that
que no
because World Update 6
compiten los GOTY
updates that
como
region, the region of Gamescom. So Germany,
Red-
Austria, and Switzerland.
Red Dead
And what that
Redemption,
means
que
to us
salió en
is we
noviembre
have
y no
new
pudo
aerial
competir
and
bien.
satellite images. We have a
No es
new
tanto por
elevation
eso.
map that
No es
helps us
tanto
with the
por eso.
mountains, so the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel
No,
in
porque,
Switzerland.
vamos,
We
o
have
sea,
Vienna and Graz in Austria.
Los
And,
Game
and
Awards
those
nada
cities look
más es un
just
concurso de
amazing. They have like
popularidad.
7 centimeters
No,
resolution.
no
and
afecta en
it's awesome.
absolutamente
But
nada
we
de
want to
que si
celebrate
algo
the
es un
entire
buen juego o
region.
no.
So we picked 100 of the most
Es un
scenic
concurso de
places, the most
popularidad
famous landmarks,
únicamente.
and we call those
No es
POIs.
por eso.
And we
O
sort of
sea, es falta de
spread them
planeación.
throughout the simulation.
O
And,
porque a lo
and we
mejor
also added
no se quieren
airports.
meter
We
a
did
los golpes
Lübeck
con
and Stuttgart
alguna
in Germany
franquicia
and
grande que
Klagenfurt
vaya a
in
sacar
Austria
un
and
juego
St. Gallen
por
in
la fecha
Switzerland.
donde lo tenían
And,
originalmente planeado.
and what it ties it all
O
together
sea, es muy probable que el
is
año que
missions.
viene
We're having
Sony saque
discovery
alguna de
flights,
sus
we have new
exclusivas en febrero o
landing
marzo.
challenges, and we have new
Y yo creo que también puede ser,
sort of
dice, ya no lo
tours of the
podemos seguir
country, so
atrasando
they fly
más.
you about all the awesome
Y
looking
antes de
places,
diciembre
really
no va a estar.
celebrate the beauty of this
Así
region
que
of
va a
ours.
tener que ser
And
diciembre.
this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and
También
Switzerland.
puede
I'm
ser que
so
eso esté
happy
sucediendo.
to be able to announce the date here at Gamescom.
You know, That is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have in the game.
¿Sabes qué? Lo que me dijiste suena muy increíble, pero no te puse atención.
Yeah, I think it's
Todo lo que
really cool,
dijiste.
but you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals.
El año que viene debe de
we
tener
talked a
Sony
lot when you study
exclusivas.
aviation, when you love aviation.
Siempre
like
las
we do,
exclusivas de Sony son
you actually realize that a lot of
una
regions of Earth have a very special
entre
relationship
febrero
with
y
flying and
abril.
aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first experiments
Y
with
la
aircraft,
otra
or a famous pilot, or a
entre
feat of
septiembre y
aviation,
noviembre.
or like a
Son
local
donde sacan sus
manufacturer.
exclusivas
So we thought to
pesadas.
ourselves, why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes?
Y ya
So we are
no se
announcing a
puede
new
dar el
series,
lujo
it's-
de
we call
Sony de
them
sacar
local
otro año
legends.
sin una
And think
franquicia
about that as
grande.
planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world not so much.
Puede ser
But
que Horizon sí
why not
salga
use the
por
world
ahí de,
updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a
abril del
worldwide
próximo
audience?
año. Puede
So
ser.
for World Update 6, we picked a German plane from the 1930s. It's called Junkers U-52.
O sea,
In
sí,
Germany,
porque
it's
pues
actually it's
es un
lovingly
juego que ya está
named
avanzado.
Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as
¿Qué
sort
otro
of a
exclusivo?
digital
Por ahí suena que
preservation.
va a
So we
salir
really want to
Spider-Man
get these
2.
planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go
Que sí lo veo
deep.
posible por
So
el
we're
hecho
doing a
de
full
que
scan. We
muchos de
take
los
full
assets
scans of the
son
outside and the
reutilizables, porque al
inside,
final de
as detailed
cuentas
as 1
sigue
millimeter,
siendo la
which is
ciudad
as
de
good
Nueva
as you
York.
can- as you're gonna do this.
Entonces,
And then
en
we're
cuanto a
working
los
with,
assets
for
de,
the Junkers, we
de la
work with
ciudad,
Dan Junkers,
los pueden
who is the
reutilizar.
grandson of the original creator of
Y
the plane, Hugo
el
Junkers. And he's helping us.
Spider-Man,
He had a ton
el
of
primero
inside
salió, ¿qué?
materials. Then we work with an
2018.
organization that is preserving one of the last surviving
Puede ser que
examples of
sí
the
salga el
Junkers.
año que
So
viene.
they let us scan and take photographs.
Te van los juegos
And
de
then we were
categoría
lucky that
deportes,
to
Emilio.
find a pilot that actually
Depende,
flew one of
depende
those
qué
planes while
deporte.
he was
Los de
still flying
fútbol
in
me
the real
dan
world.
mucha
And
flojera, la
he
verdad.
lets us know, like, is the cockpit
Los
right?
de
And the sounds
básquet,
right? Does it
más o
feel right in
menos.
the air? So we are having a blast
Automovilismo,
working with these
ok,
experts to
sí
really
me
bring
gusta.
these, to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
Los de fútbol
So this
americano.
is almost like you're creating
me
like a
gustan
digital
también,
museum for
pero nada
aviation
más.
inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. It's
Yeah.
a museum with flyable
Yeah.
planes. So we're working with 40 museums around the world. And it's honestly one of the funnest parts
A mí
of
sí
the
me
job.
impresiona
You
mucho
end
el
up
hecho de
working
cómo
with
está
these
funcionando
curators of planes.
Microsoft
These are
Flight
their
Simulator,
babies.
porque
And they
mucho
sort
de
of
lo
see
que
the tooth of
renderea
time in the real world
es
sort of nagging on their
en
remaining
tiempo
planes. And
real
they're so happy when we
con,
come in with
con
our
la ayuda de
scanning
tu
equipment.
internet.
And
O
we're
sea,
basically
aparte de que
capturing their
necesitas una
planes, and they know
computadora
that we
que
can
esté
digitally preserve them in
absurdamente
perpetuity.
cerda
And we're
para
actually
que pueda
giving those
procesar
scans back
todo
to the
eso,
museum so
también
they can do
necesitas un
something with it.
internet que
And it's a
esté
great
muy
collaboration.
choncho
And we're actually not just looking back in the history
para
of
que
aviation,
pueda
we're also looking towards the future. So I have
procesar
another
todo
announcement.
eso.
We are working with a
Está muy
fascinating
cabrón,
German
pero
company
también
called
eso hace
Volocopter.
que el
And they're
juego
making
tenga una
an
precisión
eVTOL air
muy
taxi
cabrona.
for urban traffic. So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator, and that's coming out in November.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying
Bueno,
that there's a lot
por eso
going on
no
inside of
sufren los
Microsoft Flight
europeos
Simulator. Is there
ni
anything else you want to share?
americanos.
Yeah,
Te
there's one
diré
more
que el
thing.
internet en Estados Unidos no es
I'm
tan
so
bueno
happy to
como uno
announce
se
that we've
imagina.
partnered with RARA.
No
That's
es
the
tan
Reno
bueno. O
Air
sea,
Racing
mejor que en
Association.
Latinoamérica,
Every year
sí,
they put on
granted,
something called the
pero
the
no
Steel
es lo que
National
uno se imagina.
Championship Air Race, and we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So it's
O sea,
this
solo en
is
las ciudades
the
muy
fastest
grandes hay
motorsport.
internet
This is
muy
right down
bueno.
your alley. It's the fastest
Pero solo en las
motorsport on
ciudades muy
Earth.
grandes.
And I actually brought you a little
Washington,
trailer to look
York,
at.
Dallas,
So, race,
Miami,
Speed.
Los Ángeles, San Francisco,
We go into the danger
Boston.
zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show that.
Ahí es donde sí hay muy buen internet. Pero de ahí en fuera no hay mucha diferencia en lo que tenemos nosotros realmente. Ahí tienen fibra óptica, sí. Eso sí, ya básicamente de base al menos en red celular ya tienen 5G. Se supone que la chingadera esta de Elon Musk, ¿cómo se llama? Starlink, ya viene el próximo año a Latinoamérica, al menos aquí en México ya le dieron la concesión.
You know I like going fast.
Pero sí
and
es
you
un
know I
servicio
love
que es muy
being in the
costoso.
danger zone. When is this coming out?
Aquí en
Man,
México sí.
these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50
Sí,
to
ya
250 feet
la
above the
red de
ground.
fibra óptica ya
So
lleva un
you are
rato por
definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going into too much detail, this Reno Air Race is actually the largest expansion we have since we launched on Flight Simulator. It's not just
pero ya es
because
como
we
un
scan
estándar,
all the famous
la
race planes
fibra
of the world.
óptica.
There's lots of them.
Pero pues ya lo que
This
sigue
is
es
also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet.
hacerlo todo completo y
And
totalmente
so, competitive
Wi-Fi
multiplayer
por
is
medio de
coming
red
to Microsoft
5G.
Flight Simulator. And that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is
Ese
it
es el
coming
reto
out?
que le sigue.
This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is
cual
fantastic.
estaría
You
muy
know
guay,
I
la
have the
verdad.
need for speed, so I can't wait
Que
to
a
get
donde
my
vayas
hands on
pudieras
this and
tener
participate
internet,
in
pero
some
eso
of
tiene
these
sus
races.
implicaciones
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
Thank you.
de que vas a tener
If going
absolutamente
fast on the ground is more
cero
your speed,
privacidad.
keep an eye out for an extended look
Porque
at
todo el
Forza
tiempo vas a estar
Horizon
conectado.
5 later on in the stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC. But first, if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, we have some great news for you.
Yo soy uno de esos. Humble Games. A ver. Uf, juegos de ninjas y mechas. Yo quiero. Ah, ese se ve como Enter the Gungeon. Yo lo quiero jugar. Me gustan esos juegos. Construye tu cohete, mi alegría. Ok, ese se ve interesante. Club de la pelea. El videojuegos. Lindo los indies con buenos artistas. Sí, o sea, los indies siempre son. Uf, ninjas. Es como Contra con ninjas. Ok. I like it. Sí, siempre los indies son como un buen escaparate de artistas que hacen las cosas chidas, ¿no? Porque pues a falta de recursos técnicos tienen que basarse en su creatividad. Ok, ese se ve que es un juego como de terror. Signalis. Pues ya lleva rato siendo más bien el presente de los videojuegos, Diego. Porque así lanzamientos AAA ya no hay tantos en el año. Ya son más lanzamientos indies, que son los que básicamente están sosteniendo a la industria. Ok, se ve interesante. Es la categoría con más juegos, definitivamente. Las empresas grandes siguen y siguen comprando pequeñas. Sí, eventualmente cuando un indie se vuelve un darling, lo compra un distribuidor más grande. ¿Qué onda, Luis? What's up? Hombre, muchas gracias por los 10 bits. Usted es el rey de reyes. Máximo respeto a usted. Hashtag máximo respeto. Espérate, ahí está. Mira. Ahí está el hashtag. Lo estaba haciendo chueco. ¿Doom? Eso se ve Doom. No, eso ya no es Doom. Se parece a Erectic, ¿no? Que era un juego como parecido como a Doom, pero con magia. ¿Qué onda, panda? ¿Cómo estamos? O Hexen, ándale. Hombre, si es uno de esos juegos, I mean. Doom medieval. Into the pit. No mames, pinche nombre culero. Hacia la fosa.
Well, I am here with creative
¿Qué
director
chingados con
Adam
ese
Iceman.
nombre? El nombre
Adam,
más
I'm so excited
genérico,
to
no
talk
le
to you
voy a
for
poder, así
something
como.
a little different and
Ah,
very
chale.
today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what age looks like from in the game, when you're playing
No
it.
han dicho nada
You're gonna see a
sobre
lot of footage
update
of
de
that.
No
And
Man's
we've
Sky.
also shown a little
Todavía
bit
no,
of our
panda.
campaigns, right?
Todavía no.
When we unveiled the 100 Years
Hasta
of War
ahorita
and
hemos
showed Joan of Arc.
visto un reel
But we have
de
yet another
indies.
way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing
Vimos
history
un
alive
poco de
that we
Dying
haven't
Light.
talked about yet.
Y la próxima actualización de
Put me in
Microsoft
suspense. I
Flight
want to know
Simulator.
more, so let's go with it.
Age
Let's
of
hear more.
Empires
Okay, we can get
4
one moment of suspense.
perros.
Okay, that's enough. So, what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about
Güey,
3
van a
to 5
llegar un
minutes
buen de
each.
juegos interesantes al
And,
Game Pass. Sí, ese
we
reel
have
de
over an
indies
hour
con
of them total,
los,
and they're called hands-on
con los
histories.
que van a llegar a
And what
Game
they are is
Pass,
a great
ese
way
del
to, like,
ninja que
deep
parece como
dive
Contra.
on certain fun subjects
Uf,
from the cultures
I'm
we're
going to
representing
play
and
that
just from medieval
bitch,
history.
man.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share
Y ese
here
que se
for
veía
the very first time.
como de vista
Yes,
isométrica,
I
pero que se ve
have,
como el
we
juego
are
de
going to
Mellito,
show you
de la
the
morra
segment
astronauta.
on one of the
También
most
se ve
popular
bueno.
units
Se ve
from Age
bueno.
of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I got to see. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
A counterweight trebuchet was the
Fechez
king
la
of all
vache.
siege engines. A
Lancen a la
catapult
vaca.
capable of smashing down castle walls
Chiste
from
de
great distances.
Monty Python, de Holy Grail. Si no ubican ese chiste y han visto esa película de Monty Python,
At Warwick Castle in
lanzan
England,
vacas
they
en los
built a
trebuchets.
replica, one of the largest in the world.
Fechez la vache.
Originating in 7th century China, by the 13th century, trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
¿Te imaginas tener que construir una de esas chingaderas?
It has several key features. A pivoted arm with a weight at one end, and a sling to hold the projectile at the other. To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised using tread wheels.
So this is one of the wheels, one of 2 that's attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone. What's essential about launching a projectile as
O sea,
far
tienes
as
que
possible
meter
is making sure
a
that
una
this end of
persona
the
que
arm is
básicamente
moving
es
as
un
fast as
hámster.
possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point
Bienvenidos
of
a
the
su
arm
clase de historia.
moving
¿Cómo
at
funciona
its highest
una
velocity.
catapulta?
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by
Cortesía
launching a
de Age of
projectile from a
Empires.
sling. When released, the sling whips round,
Clase express de física y
vastly
mecánica
increasing the
con un
launch
toque de
speed.
historia. Yes. Pero lancen una vaca.
Trebuchets were carefully aimed, like modern guns.
Eso es lo que me he
In
preguntado,
order
o sea,
to weaken the castle
para-
walls or even
para
breach
poder,
them, you have to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
para poder
For each projectile
lanzar
to
el
follow the same
proyectil
trajectory,
con total
They
precisión es lo
all
que
had
está
to
muy
be the
cabrón.
same weight and shape.
¿De qué empresa es Truck Simulator?
achieve this,
¿Quién sabe? Es de
Masons
Microsoft
used a
también,
gauge.
¿no?
Now I'm going to load this projectile into the sling. Oh, this one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150
Mira
kilograms.
ese melón
That's the
chino,
weight
güey.
of 2 men.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the
No
enemy.
mames, lanzaban cadáveres. Qué cabrones, güey.
Did you hear that whoosh?
Damn.
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power and accuracy that made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
¡Bam! Y no vimos absolutamente nada de Age of Empires, solo
You know I'm
cómo
gonna say
funciona
Trebuch, yay! You don't care because that is awesome.
una
And
catapulta.
remarkably unique.
O sea,
something you
gracias
don't see
por
in
la
games
clase
very
de
often.
historia.
Yeah, so
Estuvo
one of the
vergas,
things when we're
pero
looking at what we're
no
gonna do
vimos
with Age of
nada
Empires 4,
de Age of
there's a phrase I'm really
Empires.
fond of, which is history is only as interesting as
clase
the people who
de-
taught it to you. And you could say that about any subject, really,
¿Qué
right?
clase de
But
fraude
I
fue
think the
ese?
great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history. And
Sí, está
there's a
chido que
phrase
quieran ser como
called
un maestro de
humanized history
historia,
that I
pero
use to
no
kind of describe what we
mames.
tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past
O
and
sea,
present.
el
And you
chiste
can
de
see
una
that
conferencia es que
kind of in
tienes
our
que vender
briefings
el
as well, where
juego,
we've got like
¿no?
real stuff with
Decirle a la
like CG
gente
kind of
cómo funciona
overlaid
una
to show you the
catapulta.
history. And so for these,
¿Cómo
we
les
really
vendes
wanted
el
to do
juego?
that
Pues
same thing. So
enseñándolo, ¿no?
ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV, and they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been delightful to kind of go through that process and, you know, get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these
se ve que le están
hands-on
poniendo mucho
segments.
cariño,
Anything else
mucho
you can tell us, fans, about
profesionalismo
what we can expect
para
looking
hacer
forward
el
to?
juego,
Any
pero
favorites you got coming up?
si no lo vemos, ¿de qué chiste tiene?
Well, I think my personal favorite is one called Medieval Surgery. And I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
Cirugía medieval?
But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, you know, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when she shot them. And, but we've also got all of these ones on like, history and falconing and, you know, like horse taming, armor creation. And there's even one on Mongolian instrumentation, which is really cool because those instruments, we actually use them in the soundtrack for the Mongols when you're playing
es que hoy comienza la Gamescom,
in the game.
Que es cosa curiosa porque hoy es la conferencia de Microsoft en la Gamescom y mañana es la apertura de la Gamescom. Mañana va a haber también conferencia a la 1 de la tarde por parte del Doritos Pope, la apertura de la Gamescom. Así es que mañana nos vemos, banda.
Going forward, especially since it's such a unique in-game experience.
Well, the cool thing was it was there from day one. It was one of the things I was really wanted to do is try to tell these stories in a different way.
And a la 1 de la tarde aquí de México,
like full disclosure, it's been insanely nerve-wracking. We're trying something completely different that no
11 de la mañana horario de
we're history, but we're a game, but we're teaching you things, but you're having
Estados
fun.
Unidos.
Finding that middle ground
Mañana es donde
really challenging. And, you know,
había anuncios de nuestro elegido a la 1 p.m. hora México. Sí,
it's going to work.
Es correcto.
Like, people are going to like this. And the great thing is so far everyone has really experienced the entire thing put together.
De hecho, el previo empieza media hora antes, pero no vamos a ver el previo.
So, so far so good, right? But yeah, it's been a journey, you know, to get all this done and put the whole game together.
Well, I love that you mentioned Journey because we are coming towards the end of this development journey for Age 4. Talk to me about where people can find and learn more about Age of Empires 4. I know they're
Pero queremos ver un trailer de Age of Empires.
We are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more about the title. And if you're really, really excited, right now you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam. Pre-order the game right now.
Ay, sí, vayan a preordenarlo si están muy emocionados con el juego. Vato, no hemos visto nada del juego. ¿De qué me estás hablando?
Yes,
mi compa Archive Nintendo Switch Pro confirmado.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night.
El Lord Señor de los Doritos, Doritos Pope. Sí, mañana él va a ser el host.
There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you probably should tune in.
El Nintendo Switch Pro confirmado, sí, ya está. Se llama Steam Deck.
And I like it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us here.
Y la está haciendo Valve.
Always a pleasure. Age of Empires 4 looks fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th, neither should you. Now we have tons coming up here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 with our friends at Playground Games. But now, let's catch up with Perry,
todo lo que pidieron para el Switch Pro terminó siendo el Steam Deck, ¿sí o no, banda?
That's right, Kate.
Todo lo
Xbox
que
Cloud
habían
Gaming
pedido.
is already available on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now, it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting
otra vez el cloud gaming.
Hard drive space, no waiting to patch, and no
pensé que ya
buying a new
habíamos
console
pasado eso.
just to play with your friend. See how the vision of cloud gaming will bring
Como el,
people together.
el
without
DualSense que sale ya confirmado en el multiverso de
So when I think
Spider-Man.
about cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future where
Pensé que
you
ya
can
habíamos
pick up
pasado eso del
something and you
cloud
can play it
computing,
anywhere
que
and
del
you
cloud
could do it
gaming.
quickly.
Que no, todavía no conozco a nadie que tenga que haya probado el Game Pass Ultimate, el que se puede jugar en la nube.
Games are large and you want to keep the ones that you know you love on your hard drive. Xbox Cloud Gaming is about being able to discover the new ones right away. It's super exciting that for our Game Pass Ultimate members, they will get to experience Xbox Cloud Gaming on whatever
Es que sí se
console they
necesita una conexión
Cloud gaming is
bastante
really
pesada
about
para
looking
poder
at
correr
how
los juegos de
people
la
play
nube.
differently. I know me
O sea, sí
in
necesitas
particular,
un
sometimes I
internet
just have 20
súper
minutes.
primermundista.
It should be as easy as
Con
finding
nuestro
the
internet
game
de la
that you
TAM
look for on your console and
vas a
jumping
tener
right in.
delay
We're targeting
input todo el
1080p at
pinche
60 frames per
tiempo.
second.
What's crazy about this is like the latency. This
Sara,
is the kind of stuff you need
jugadora
with
de
cloud
Xbox.
gaming.
No,
60
bueno.
frames, that's actually very smooth.
The process itself to get into cloud gaming feels like you're playing on console, right? You go, you
4G
find
no
the game you
alcanza
want, you
para
press
eso, ¿no?
play.
Ya necesitas
So easy
5G
nowadays. You can pick up any
con
device and pretty much play any
como de
Xbox
100
game on
megas.
Game Pass.
If my friends have titles that I don't have yet, I can just wait for them to send an invite. It makes content just so much more accessible.
I really love the flexibility. It's awesome.
Everything that Xbox is doing right now is just getting rid of the limits of having to be on a specific platform or a specific console, play on PC and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Pues ojalá funcione chido, porque
Can play Gen 9 content.
pues,
Isn't
ahí
that
tienen
so
Stadia.
cool?
With cloud gaming, we have the ability,
Está
because you
cutre
are
con
connecting to
ganas.
consoles that are in our data centers, to allow
Pues estaría
the
chido
Gen
que de
8
repente ya
customers,
no
the Xbox One
necesitaras una
customers,
consola,
to
que
play
te compraras
games
una
that their hardware
pantalla,
wouldn't
digamos,
have been able to play
y esa
without.
pantalla
There's
pudieras
so much
correr
opportunity when it comes to thinking about how we can
Cloud,
make content
el
more
Xbox
readily
Game
available and let
Pass.
people play
Así
where
en
they
Cloud
want to.
Gaming,
Sign me up.
nada más te
I'm ready
compras
for
tu
cloud gaming right
control,
now. Let's do it. When's the
lo
release date? When's the
conectas
release?
vía Bluetooth y ya mamaste. O sea, eso estaría chido, porque te ahorra el hecho de tener que comprarte una caja. Jugador de Xbox, qué ingeniero ni qué madre, sí, o sea, a qué se dedique no importa, juega Xbox.
Update for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and
Update
X,
de
with
Hellblade
beautiful and rich
2.
visuals thanks to the addition
Ándale,
of ray
a ver.
tracing and improved materials alongside performance updates. This is the perfect opportunity to
Hablando
relive
de
Senua's
haciendo
journey
lo mismo,
or
pero es una PC.
experience it for the
Yes.
first time. And if you haven't played
Es
this,
correcto,
do
mi
yourself
estimado
a
Luis.
favor, grab a pair of headphones and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox Plays team will be taking a look at some ID at Xbox titles over the next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
Ah,
They're
sí,
also talking with
este
developers
juego
from
nuevo
Halo,
de
the
12
Master Chief
Minutes
Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2.
sale
So join the live Q&A
mañana
to get your burning questions
en
answered. You can catch
en
all of
el
those
Game
streams
Pass.
on
Lo están-
twitch.tv/Xbox.
Le están tirando
Speaking of
muchas
Forza
flores.
Horizon 5, don't forget, our friends at Playground
12
Games will give us an
Minutes.
extended look at their
Dicen que está
monument
bueno.
to motoring in Mexico later on.
That
Welcome to
includes
Mexico,
never before
to
seen
the
areas of
Forza
the game map,
Horizon.
plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before. I've loved everything I've seen of Forza Horizon 5 so far, and I can't wait.
Es esa
Now,
chamarra de
Kate,
este carnal está horrible.
there's
güey.
more games to check out, right?
Well, right, you are, Paris. Let's talk Wasteland 3. Their newest DLC introduces
Wasteland
us to a new
3,
cult.
DLC.
The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Viva la TAM y su poderoso internet patrocinado por el tío Slim. Ah, pero pues, ¿qué tal? La gente piensa que es Dios. Slim porque te da un internet cutre. Nice. Halo será el final y como un tibio leak, Forza Horizon 5 han sido puras palabras. Y luego, ¿qué pedo con Xbox? Pues yo les puedo decir de una vez que si no se ve un trailer de la campaña de Halo Infinite con fecha, la campaña de Halo Infinite no va a salir este año. De una vez guarden estas palabras. La campaña, si no pasa eso, que tenga fecha, no va a salir este año la campaña de Halo Infinite.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features, like a fine wine, Wasteland 3 just gets better with age. To really savor the game's bouquet, we're talking with inXile game director David
Qué
Rogers.
rara
David,
analogía.
thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer
comparándola
we
con
saw
un
that
buen
the
vino.
DLC is coming out on
Halo
October 5th.
Infinito,
But
pero
we
entonces
know,
sería
you know,
full
inXile,
multiplayer,
Wasteland 3, you
eso
guys
sería
have been
malo
working
jugado.
on this for a very
Pues
long
lo que
time.
sí
So
dicen
can
es
you
que sí
kinda
va a
talk about
salir
that journey?
el
Yeah, our dev
multiplayer
team has been
a
working
finales de este
non-stop
año.
full tilt,
Que eso sí va
trying
a
to make
salir.
Wasteland 3 the best
Y
version of
aparte,
itself
pues
it
el
could be.
multiplayer es
Over
free
the
to
past
play.
year since it's released, we've added
Pero la
features, we've
campaña,
balanced, we've listened to the
ahí
community,
es
we've
donde
fixed
está el
bugs,
problema,
added stability,
porque
and I
precisamente
really
le
think
estaba
that the
comentando a
version that we
Jojo
have
que
now
es
is the
la persona
absolute
que
best version
más,
of the
que
game,
está
and
más
if you've never played
emocionada
it
por
before, now's
pinche
an
Halo.
awesome time to jump in.
hay que tener un poco de las expectativas un poco más aterrizadas, hombre, porque si no hemos visto nada de la campaña, ni siquiera tiene fecha, nada por el estilo, es que una de dos, o van súper atrasados, o esa campaña no tiene rumbo, y todavía no saben qué chingados van a hacer, lo cual todavía sería
top secret
peor.
military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you hit level 16, an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all the secrets within. And as soon as you get there, you find two warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war science experiment that they worship as a god.
Yeah.
And, you know, these cultists are insane, they're mutated, they've gone totally mad, and all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire ranger team. How generous.
Yeah, that sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past, but this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right. So you and your ranger team insert yourself right
Al menos en la
smack dab in the
campaña,
middle of their
ojalá
which,
que
you know,
no.
what could go
O sea, yo
wrong?
creo que ya
And
los
this is a Wasteland
fans de
game, so you
Halo ya se
decide
merecen
everything.
un
Choice
juego
and
hecho y derecho
consequence
que
is our
esté
bread and
chido.
butter. And so you decide
Porque
who
ya
lives,
llevan
who
un
dies,
rato
who
sin
gets
un
screwed
juego
over,
chido.
who takes charge.
Porque
You're
Halo
deciding the
5 no
fate of
salió
the
nada
cult,
bien.
the Holy Detonation,
Es una
Cheyenne
pequeña
Mountain, and
tragedia
ultimately
Halo
all
5.
of Colorado. This is really your game.
Halo 5 salió a inicios de
So the
la
last
generación
expansion
del
was the
Xbox
Battle
One.
of Steeltown, right?
Entonces
You had
ya
giant
lleva un
robots and
rato
things like that. So, you know, what are you going to do?
que celebren
to
algo
top
los
something
fans de
like that
Halo,
from the
como
last
que ya les
expansion?
toca, ¿no?
Right. So we wanted like returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or like in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And so
Y sí,
we
sería
built this as
muy
a
culero. Yo creo que ya
Wasteland
no le
dungeon crawl.
tolerarían
And in there
uno de
you
esos
find this
fracasos
awesome mix
a
of
343
mystery,
Industries.
exploration.
Ya
You're
no
meeting
se
these
lo
crazy
toleraría.
cultists who have been locked in this like pre-war time
Y no
capsule.
tanto por el lado de
and
Microsoft,
some
sino
of the
por el lado de los
raddest boss
fans.
battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk to me about these big boss battles. I want to hear more
Pues es que
about that.
también de
So we took the
Halo
best
6,
parts
o
of Wasteland combat
ahora
and
conocido como
breathed
Halo
new life
Infinite,
into it
ya
with
lleva rato
objective-based
que
combat,
sabemos
which
que
are
existe.
basically super rad boss battles.
Entonces,
It's no longer you're like huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets,
puede
just
ser que
going
la
on
campaña
murderous
salga
rampages.
pedorra.
It's not about
No sé
killing,
si en
it's about
niveles
getting the job
Crackdown
done. And
3,
so
no
now,
creo.
combat doesn't end until the mission is over.
Pero
We send you on proper
siempre es una
combat missions.
posibilidad.
You're in there, breaking into
Sí, o sea,
prisons,
Crackdown
rescuing
1 y 2
POWs. You're
estaban más o
disrupting these
menos.
high-tech cultist
Eran
rituals.
juegos.
You are splitting your fire team and coordinating
Pero
like
el
you
3,
never have had to before. Like everyone on your team has a job, and I really
ni
think this is
siquiera
going to take
con
old
Terry
players who know
Crews
their ranger team like the back of their
lograron como
hand, and it's going to
levantar
make
ese
them scratch
barco.
their head and really have to rethink how they go about combat and making it new, exciting, and challenging in a like
Ojalá
mentally
sea
in a way we
decente,
haven't
al
been able
menos un
to
juego sólido de
really
7
do
u
before
8.
with just straight up murder combat.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little
Yo
silly.
creo que le están poniendo toda la carne al
What are
asador
some of the
al
weird characters
multiplayer.
we can expect in some of the
Mi
story encounters we
teoría es esa, que le están tirando
Yeah,
toda la
with this,
carne al
with
asador al
Cult of the Holy
multiplayer. Que
Detonation, we
quede
really
de
got to cut our
puta
devils
madre, que
loose
quede
and
de
just let them be
huevos ese
creative and
multiplayer.
fun and silly. Like in Exiles, modus operandi
Para que
is
si la
if
campaña
some- if
salga
we're, like,
culera, la
brainstorming and something
gente
makes us
diga,
laugh, we
bueno,
just
pero
put
el
it in the game.
multiplayer
That's
está
just how
chido
we
y ya
do it.
con
We pick
eso
up the
como
pieces
que se
afterwards.
compensa un
Because
poco
we
la
want to make something that
balanza.
entertains us, and then we know if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun along with us. And so we got to explore, like
Yo
really
creo que esa
letting
es
you
como
get
la
deep
jugada
into
de
this like weird radiation cult
343
and let you interact
Halo
with them and
Infinite.
talk
Por
with
eso
them
no ha querido decir
and
nada
tell
de la
stories
campaña.
and like maybe even join them.
Yeah.
And so like for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of
Aparte
the
ya,
first
la
cultists you
pinche
meet, is
campaña,
this
¿a
slathering
quién le
beast. He's
interesa
got,
la
like,
historia
claws
de
and
Halo? Ya
fangs
esa
and
madre
spikes jutting
se está
out.
sobrecomplicando
He's drooling, but he's like
demasiado
the
a
nicest guy in
estilos
Cheyenne Mountain.
a
Like you meet him
niveles
and he's like,
Kingdom
hey
Hearts.
guys, you should like come in here and like soak up some of these
Yo apuesto
rats.
por
It'll
una
be
campaña
great.
decente,
And he
pero si no
sherpas you
funciona.
in and lets you meet the whole
Yo creo
cult.
que
And, like,
váyanse
and another one
olvidando
of my
de una
favorites
campaña
is the
decente.
Proteus. He's what you get if
Yo creo que
if you
vayan
took like
acostumbrándose a
20
la idea de
cultists
que
and
el
you like
multiplayer va a
melted
estar
them
de
into a
puta
big
madre y la
pile,
campaña va
kind
a
of
ser
like I
una
would do this with
cagada.
like a magnifying glass. I would like melt like
O
army
sea,
guys
en
and,
el
like, GI
multiplayer
Joes
les
into a
van a
big
dar
pile,
todo lo que
and
siempre
he's
quisieron.
sweat and sloppy
Pantalla
and gross and hard to
dividida,
understand,
60
and you need a
frames,
translator
un
supposedly.
chingo de
But he's
jugadores,
like your
un
number one
huevo de
fan. And getting
armas,
to build
hasta
like
la
this
espada de
totally
energía,
out there
toda la
wild
mierda que les
extreme
han
character
pedido,
was a ton of
se
fun
las
to
van a
write
dar.
for,
Pero
a ton of fun to like explore like what makes this cult
campaña
tick, and he's an
va a
absolute
ser
blast.
o o muy corta, muy corta a niveles Battlefield,
they're devolved cultists. Like, there's one guy, and he kind of devolves into this, like, vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real, like, kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us dance between sort of, like, dark and serious, and, like, goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like, you know, a lot of really important stuff
pero
at stake,
todavía la
but,
industria
you know,
no está como para meter esas cadenas de confianza.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, we talked before, you've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while.
Ah, sí, se supone que... Se supone, hay dos rumores que dicen de esta conferencia. Uno, que va a haber un nuevo
And like I said at the top, like, Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all
que van a enseñar el Resident Evil 4 Remake.
And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection.
Yo la verdad, el de
Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle
el de
of
Saints
Steeltown,
Row
all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland.
El de Resident Evil 4 Remake no lo veo en esta conferencia.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of
ya lleva rato que Capcom, al menos en su parte de Resident Evil, están de la manita con PlayStation. Entonces, no creo que salga en la conferencia de Microsoft.
Remind everyone before we get out of here, when can you pick up this DLC?
Right, this work of
pues es lo que dicen, que últimamente ha habido muchas noticias de Saints Row, que va a haber un...
Of the Holy Detonation coming out.
Vaya usted a saber si es cierto.
David, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Right.
Pero, hey,
in the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more. Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem, and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Ok. Nuevo barco de Sea of Thieves. Pues es que Saints Row, al menos en sus primeras 2 iteraciones, sí quería ser muy duro Grand Theft Auto. O sea, sí se... es con...
really cool to be a part of this
colaboración con
And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves, and we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during kind of the Gamescom time period.
Pero ya como a partir del 3 y el 4 ya tenían su propia personalidad, pero sí, yo siento que a mi gusto era un poco demasiado.
Cunningly titled Mayhem, you might notice the link. So you can probably guess the kind of activities that are involved, but if you head to Lorena at any of the outposts in the Sea of Thieves world, she'll be able to fill you in on the details of what you need to go do to earn the ship set. So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to get your hands on the Mayhem ship set. And I think that's it from me. So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Wow. No dijeron nada. El evento de Piratas del Caribe estuvo bueno. Pues a mí como Sea of Thieves no me llama. Ojalá y les haya quedado chingón.
Hope. It's always been a dangerous world in Trumbull Valley.
Más zombies.
But now, it's hope that brings us back together.
Es State of Decay 2.
It reunites old friends.
Yeah.
It builds new bonds. And in the face of a growing threat, hope is the greatest weapon we have.
¿Por qué tendríamos que conformarnos con un producto inferior cuando ya tenemos Back 4 Blood, que ese juego está vergas? Ese State of Decay 2, Back 4 Blood. Sáquese la verga. Deme más Back 4 Blood.
Welcome back
Homecoming.
to Trumbull Valley.
Pues no dijeron que fuera gratuita, Luis.
Well, just like zombies themselves, it seems everything old is new again.
Estás esperando demasiado, hombre. Estás poniendo mucha fe.
Welcoming Undead Labs Director of Communications, Wonder Russell. Hello, Wonder. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be here. Talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very excited to get this into
Sí
players'
se ve,
hands.
tenía como de hecho, las primeras escenas pensé que era de Division.
Are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update back in 2019.
Hasta que vi zombies y dije, eso ya no es de Division. A menos que ahora sea la división anti-zombies.
Is the story mode within the game, but it's a very linear, narrative-driven experience. Players couldn't move their communities there. So that's all changed with the Trumbull Valley map.
Se llama Wonder Russell. Se llama Wonder, no mames, qué nombre tan chingón, güey. Wonder.
So players can return to Trumbull Valley with their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a sequel then to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly right. So the events in Heartland kind of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the third part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then and what storylines might be coming to a close. So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of environmental storytelling to find, and things have changed. So this isn't the Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool weapons. We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty pack. So that will be available from the bounty broker across all maps. And I have to say, they are some of the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who sees that second one.
Porque a mí la neta Halo...
Let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's
Gears me gusta, pero no soy tan fan, la neta. Puedo vivir sin...
How has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and we have an amazing community. We love them so much.
Sí, salió un nuevo Doom,
one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is
sí
because it was one of the most requested features from the community, which
porque
also
claramente
makes
esos
it very
juegos ya no
exciting
van
for
a
us to
salir
be
en
able to
PlayStation.
say, we did it, you get it. And we have a major milestone that we're celebrating. State of Decay 2 has 10 million lifetime players.
Starfield, ese juego me llama, aunque no ha salido nada. Híjole, sí, pero exactamente, Bethesda. Quién sabe cómo salga.
Well, speaking of Xbox Game Pass, let's give me the deets one more time when it comes to the update.
So the update
o a menos de que de repente también se las aloca y el mentado Silent Hill si salga en Xbox, sería como de verga, ahora voy a tener que comprar un
Thank you, Wonder,
Xbox.
very much. My pleasure.
Now we move from
A
Trumbull
Xbox
Valley
es
to
verdad
the
que
Lost
los
Valley of
mexicanos
Korea.
lo salvaron.
This mystical location trades zombies for ancient warrior
Pues sí,
clans,
México es
temples of
territorio
long-dead god
Xbox.
kings, and a healthy dose of hack and slash. All this awaits in Strayblade.
Que poco a poco ya menos, pero otro juego Souls, enésimo juego Souls. Strayblade.
In Strayblade, you discover the mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories, and plenty of dues to stab in blade-to-blade combat.
Aquí Microsoft es ley porque tiene de entrada tiene sus precios regionalizados, más baratos.
So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Stray Blade.
Hello everybody, I'm Leonard Kausch, Game Director at Point Blank Games, and today I will show you Stray Blade.
Es un Souls bastante blandengue, vamos a decirlo. Blandengue Souls.
Unveil the history of the Forgotten Valley, master the powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore balance to this war-torn land.
That is the how, as well as the why.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions.
Quién sabe, a lo mejor si hay una muñeca que te dice bienvenido, cazador.
We put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishers. You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle. Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding
Ese juego no tiene
Together with your
personalidad,
companion,
banda.
explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world, bristling with adventure. Every discovery holds treasure.
Sí,
Rare
estaba
materials,
bueno el
recipes,
Sirius Sam.
weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the
Puro
world around you.
plomazo
When you
con
die,
el Sirius
time keeps
Sam,
moving
güey.
forward. Enemy skills stay dead. New foes invade camps that you weakened. And when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights.
Yeah, ya vimos
We
eso.
hope you enjoyed the first look at Stray Blade, which will be out next year. And keep an eye on our social media
Hay un
channels
boss
for more
gigante.
information.
Ah, típico de los FPS, es el boss gigante. Crusader
Next up,
Kings.
one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Yeah, unique. As in, my evil twin.
Eso fue con sarcasmo. Sí, único.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're talking about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying
Sí,
to defend
único,
your
como
royal
si no
line
fuera el
from
único
those
juego
that would
tipo
conquer your
Souls que
kingdom.
hemos visto
And Evil Twins,
en
apparently.
los últimos 6 años.
It's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the Uplink
mames, si
controls
salen
have been
como 3 por
refined
año,
to bring
ya.
that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention
Ellos
bringing
mismos
the
se
grand
tiran
strategy experience to my comfy living room
Sí.
couch.
We'll all be
Sí,
ruling from our throne rooms
único,
soon enough.
guiño,
Check out
guiño.
Crusader Kings 3 now, coming to Xbox consoles.
No mames, en un rato le voy a sacar clip a eso porque es una joya.
My son.
10 de 10 por IGN.
Never forget the crimes committed against us. Your father sought his glorious revenge and failed.
Digo, sí me gusta ese género, pero no mames. Sí, sí, yo también, o sea.
He never understood.
Se está volviendo como los FPS, ya salen estamos en esa época donde salen de un chingo por año. Ya basta. Hoy en día, afortunadamente, ya no salen tantos FPS.
Measure success across the span of a single life. The real game is played across generations.
Persia, Arabia.
Real strategy.
Real strategy. Crusader Kings 3. Es un juego de estrategia. Crusader Kings.
Crusader Kings 3 is wild.
No
You really
me
haven't
sirves.
lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies. We've all gotten into some weird stuff this past year.
Weird like diving into people's brains and exploring their mental universes projected into a psychedelic 60s wonderland kind of weird?
Psychonauts.
Exactly that kind of weird. Which means I am so excited for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel. It has been so long.
There really is something special about Psychonauts, isn't it?
There really is indeed. Now, think about this. 2005, when Psychonauts originally came out, was a different time for gaming. Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call of Duty 2. They were great games, for sure. But they were all big, beefy shooter games.
El sarcasmo está, pero
Psychonauts had humor,
está todo mecate.
and surprisingly heartfelt
Esta morra
moments.
tiene el
It was
sarcasmo.
an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy.
Ah, hablando
dark,
de
and
Call of
combative.
Duty, ya saben el
Not to
nuevo
mention
rumor,
having
banda.
some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
Hay un rumor
It has been a long time coming, and it is
supuestamente
finally
salido
here.
de una
Enjoy this
filtración
long-awaited launch
donde
trailer
dicen
for Psychonauts.
que el próximo año van a cerrar Blizzard y lo van a rebrandear como Insight. Básicamente cancelando todos sus proyectos venideros, incluyendo Overwatch 2. Para que ahora llamado Insight apoyen en el desarrollo de Call of Duty. Rasputina 4.
And today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
Did you forget everything
Mila
I taught you
Modelo.
about levitation, Rasputin?
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did.
Ah, sí, de que se ve interesante Psychonauts 2. Sí, se ve interesante, pero los juegos de Double Fine son su propia cosa.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
Es de esos raros juegos de Bethesda Microsoft que sí vamos a poder jugar en el Play. Psychonauts, yes. Con todo y su soundtrack Super James Bond. Salía en estos días, ¿no?
Leave it to me.
Dice que sale el 25. Sale el 25, sale mañana. Entonces,
Well, it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be honest, me and that original game, we got some beef that needs settling. If you know, you know. The meat circus level, it is infamous, it is brutal, it is difficult to say the least. It's the final level of the original game that came out, and I cannot believe I'm doing the math on this one. 16 years ago, Tim Schafer and Lizette
Tim
Montgomery.
Schafer.
I am definitely dating myself, but you are
Rarísimo
welcome
que
from
hay una
Double Fine
entrevista con
Productions.
Tim
Thank you
Schafer.
so much for being here. Tim, can you
¿Cuánto
believe
le
it?
tuvieron
It's
que
been
pagar?
16 years. I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the
Porque
first
Tim
game,
Schafer es
left off.
todo lo contrario a
And even though it
Kojima.
has been a lot of
Tim
years,
Schafer
it's
casi
a
no le
game that
gusta
matters
salir
a
en
lot
ningún
to us.
lado.
We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans have meant a lot to them, and so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first
Casi
game.
no da
which
entrevistas ni nada. Es como una
we were
persona
able to do
muy
because we
hermética.
brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have
Está-
a lot of people on the team.
Me
here
llama la
that
atención que hay
worked
una
on the first
entrevista
game,
con Tim
as well as
Schafer
bringing on a
en una
bunch of new people
conferencia.
like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different, based on their personality. If you could jump
Todos los
into someone's
niveles son
mind, what would it look
diferentes,
like
como
in there?
cada
What would
persona es
what would
diferente,
be
basado en
the
su
color of the
personalidad.
sky, and like who would the
Ok,
monsters be?
entendí
And
eso, señor
Psychonauts gets to
Schafer.
do that because Raz has the power of astral projection, and when he goes in, he gets to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle with their inner demons. And so there's a ton of variety, and there's a lot of anything goes. We can go to any location, we can have any art style, and coming up with new levels for the second game was was really fun to do.
Well, I loved it from the first game, certainly, Lizette. Let's talk a little bit about how that kind of concept expresses itself in the game world. I mean, Psychonauts 2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons. And I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap attacks.
¿Qué chingada estás preguntando? No se trata de eso el juego, ¿de qué vergas hablas?
In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here.
O sea que vamos a poder abofetear a la ansiedad. No va de eso el juego.
Also, some regrets, some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky melee enemy. You're also seeing our enabler here. It energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new Bad Mood.
Including the Bad Mood.
Which is...
It's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way, wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills, one being the acrobatic skills he learned growing up in the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on trampolines, swing on trapezes, and that helps him navigate and get around to all kinds of interesting places. But he also has this other side to his personality.
¿Saben qué es lo malo de que ahora Double Fine esté en Xbox? Que eso mina en su totalidad las posibilidades de que veamos un nuevo Twisted Metal.
The ability to mentally connect thoughts together.
Yo sí quiero ver un nuevo Twisted Metal.
To solve puzzles and to navigate in this game. He has the power of Time Bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do.
Sí, en efecto, tenemos nuevos personajes en este juego.
As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down at the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his friends. And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy, meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass. And
mañana, si les interesa ese juego, ya sale mañana.
Lizette, Tim from Double Fine, thank you so much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And
you no ves que estamos bien emocionados.
Ask him those burning questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise in our Xbox Play stream tomorrow. But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets in this supremely satisfying 4K60 trailer for The Gunk.
Los creadores de Steam World. Okay.
I don't like this weather. I'm pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the gunk's gone.
Aspiradora mágica, el juego.
Max. Oh, please, Max.
Record 2.0, se ve bien el juego. Está bien. Juégalo día 1. PC y consola con el Game Pass.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite.
El cochambre.
It is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on. And hey, you know what?
El videojuego. The movie, the game.
Thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world. But I was staring daggers of jealousy watching you talk to Tim and Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true. It's not as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you. Be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget, Xbox Plays will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox. So make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that it has been our distinct pleasure to chat games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
And that is twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if
okay, the vroom vroom experience.
Channels, stay right where you are.
Fuck.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by November 9th when the standard edition of the game launches.
Okay, Forza Horizon, banda. Está padre ese control, la verdad. Sí, a mí sí me gusta cómo se ve ese control. Está locochón. Claro, son 2,000 pesos por el control. Pase usted por caja. ¿Unos tenis? Entiendo lo del control, pero ¿los tenis? The fuck. Pierden ahora. No. O sea, sí me gusta cómo se ve.
Playground Games with Forza Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Hello.
How cool is this?
That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really cool video about it, and I'll be the first
Si van
to
a
say
hablar
there's
del
an amazing
control
influence of Mexican
y
car
no
culture
del
and music
pinche juego de
literally
Forza
displayed right across the
Horizon.
front, isn't that right?
Qué
Absolutely.
vergas.
It just feels like it's a part of the
Hay algo
Horizon
de
Festival,
control
like
en
it's
ese arte
dropped out of the game
moderno,
into
sí.
your lap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely love it.
And there's so much we do want to
Parece
show
que hay un
fans,
control
and
abajo
it's
de
quite
tu
difficult
vómito
to
de
decide where to
unicornio.
start. So can you maybe tell us a bit more about the game, Mike?
Sure, yeah. So Forza Horizon 5 is bringing the Horizon Festival's unique brand of fun and freedom to beautiful and vibrant Mexico. Players are going to set out across the largest, most diverse open world we've ever built in hundreds of the world's most beautiful and exciting cars.
Yeah, and people think that Mexico is just a desert.
Al parecer es requisito para trabajar en Microsoft raparse la mitad de la cabeza.
A number of amazing deserts. It also has vast canyons, hidden temples, awesome, beautiful historic cities, and even a towering snow-capped volcano, the highest point we've ever had in a Horizon game.
So you've talked about how
lástima que
Forza
tienes
Horizon
una
5
cabellera
showcases
hermosa, te vas a
powerful
tener
all-new
que rapar
graphical
la mitad.
features, but what more can you tell us about that?
Quería
So yeah,
trabajar
our
con
Mexican
Microsoft. No.
HDR sky captures really illuminate the world to the point where you feel like you're really there. And thanks to the Xbox Series X and S, ray tracing is utilized in Forza Vista to really make our cars look more true to real life. You'll encounter the smallest of details as you travel throughout the world, all rendered in striking realism.
Oh, that's such an exciting overview. I cannot wait.
Realismo. Ojo que utilizó la palabra realismo.
Yeah, that's right. We are about to
a
reveal
la
the
hora
cover
de,
of Forza Horizon 5, featuring
replicar
the Mercedes AMG
el,
One
el mundo en Forza Horizon 5.
Ford Bronco Badlands. Should we take a look?
Yes.
Acaba de decir la palabra mágica. Realismo. Sobre todo porque ves esos coches, güey, en México. Bueno, ese sí lo puedes ver. Pero ese no. No mames. Y eso fue todo de... ¿What? Eso fue todo de Forza Horizon. ¿Really?
Now, those are two very different ways to explore Mexico. So what I want to know is why those two cars were chosen and what players can expect when they get behind the wheel.
No, mames.
Yeah, so those differences are exactly why we chose them. The Mercedes AMG 1 marks the first time a car features Formula One hybrid technology almost one-to-one from track to the street. And with the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands, you know, that's primed for rugged off-roading across Mexico's vast terrain.
And I'm certain people can't wait to see more of what these cars can do in the game, so I don't think we should keep them waiting any longer. Mike, can you tell us about what we're about to see next?
Yes, so in a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off a Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go stream, and everybody should check that out for a big deep dive into loads of new content and features from Forza Horizon 5. But before that, we have 8 minutes of brand new gameplay where we're going to see both.
Vamos a ver 8 minutos de gameplay de Forza Horizon, banda. Agárrense los cinturones porque la máquina chuchú de gameplay viene en camino, rápido y ruidoso. Y no vamos a ver nada de Halo. No vamos a ver nada de Halo. Esa pinche campaña no va a salir este año. Les dije. Pero me llamaron loco. ¿Qué? ¿Te sueltan en un helicóptero, en un avión?
Here we take control of the 2021
Bienvenidos a México.
Towering snow-capped Gran Caldera volcano.
Pásate por unas garnachas, ese. Me debería de cagar ese tipo de estereotipos, pero la neta me da risa. Wow, hermano. La verdad se ve muy bien. Pero si vieron cómo pasó de la nieve al desierto, así, realismo, banda. Ok. No, sí, está chingón.
Lovely day for a drive.
So now we see the 2020 Corvette Stingray tearing up the asphalt towards a dust storm in the Mexican farmland.
¿Qué carretera es esa? Sigue adelante, keep going ese. You gotta go fast. Que se ve chingón, la neta. Yo eso no tengo nada que decir. Solo me estoy pitorreando de lo ridículo. Ay, ya, neta se va a meter a la tormenta de arena. Ok. Ok. Realismo. Ay, ya demanden al piloto de ese pinche avión. Deja a todo el mundo en lugares de la verga. Thunder in the jungle. Hasta que sirvió de algo el avión presidencial mexicano. Ándale.
Next up is the Porsche 911 Desert Flyer, crashing through the dense jungle tree canopy.
Ya vine, me fui, regresé y me vine 1000 veces, hombre. Anda llenando las cubetas, llene cubetas. Si en esos lugares no hay una miscelánea llamada Karina 2, eso no es México. Ay, güey. Slow-mo.
¡Qué maravilla! You're not gonna believe your eyes when you see this. Keep going.
Me caga ese güey que habla por radio. Me caga, pero me da risa. Y de repente controlas a un flamingo. Baja California.
This is the final drop. The whole festival is waiting. Go, go, go. What do you say? Race to the festival wins?
Race to the festival.
And on the final leg, we have the stunning Mercedes AMG 1 at full speed across Mexico's sun-baked rocky coast.
Horizon, this is Mexico. We've already had cars falling out of the sky, but all eyes are on the superstar making their way to the festival right now.
Su madre, ¿te imaginas ir a esa pinche velocidad en la vida real? Tu estómago ya los debe de tener en la garganta. Y ahí va el pinche avión otra vez. Quítese. Las misiones con los cárteles del narco. Corre para el Chapo. Dice, dude, you have to take this package to the jefe. This is not talco. Y listo, banda. Les dije que no. Si no va a haber Halo. Si no va a haber Halo, banda, es que esa campaña no va a salir este año. No mames, en el chat del evento están y Halo, güey. Halo son los papás. Es lo que no sabían. Pues no sé si haya salvado la Gamescom, pero al menos el trailer que mostraron sí está chido. O sea, sí. Granted, está chido el trailer. Digo, porque mañana va a haber muchos anuncios en la Gamescom. Ya en la conferencia de la Gamescom, mañana va a haber varios anuncios. Así que mañana nos vemos a la 1 de la tarde para checar esa conferencia, que podamos ver los nuevos juegos en vivo, a ver qué se va a anunciar, a ver qué novedades hay. Existe la posibilidad de que mañana veamos un Resident Evil nuevo, porque recuerden que Resident Evil ya es una franquicia anualizada, banda. No lo queríamos aceptar. Pensamos que esas solo son chingaderas que hacen los FIFAs y los Call of Duties. Pero Resident Evil ya se volvió una franquicia anualizada. Y el año que viene toca remake. Así que es muy posible que veamos ese remake del 4. Ojalá que no sea código venerio, que no sea el Code Verónica, porque me voy a emputar porque ese juego está feo. O si reescriben un poco la historia y la hacen que forme parte del 4 de alguna forma, ok, sí, estuvo Wixos, la verdad. Las conferencias pasadas de Xbox habían estado bastante bien. Estuvo blandengue, la verdad. Estuvo lánguida. Fue una erección lánguida. Esta conferencia de Xbox estuvo ahí más o menos. El ritmo estuvo... Los juegos estuvieron... no hubo Halo. Les digo, banda. Y mucho menos hubo Gears. Porque Gears también, acuérdense que Gears 5 salió ya hace rato. Entonces, ni Gears ni Halo. Así que los estudios de Microsoft siguen echando la hueva. Y yo pensé que íbamos a ver algo de Senua, de Hellblade 2. Y no vimos tampoco nada. Yeah. Sí, los indies se veían bien, granted. O sea, los indies cumpliendo, definitivamente. Pero no vimos ni Halo, no vimos nada de Age of Empires, no vimos... Así que digas, uy, que no mames. algo más sustancial de Forza Horizon tampoco. De Bethesda no vimos nada. O sea, no vimos nada de Starfield, no vimos nada de The Elder Scrolls, no vimos nada de Doom o de Wolfenstein, no vimos nada de nada de Bethesda. Nada. Gears of War sigue en un castigado en un cajón. No sé. Esta conferencia me dejó mucho que pensar respecto a lo que había dicho en un inicio, de que sí, como que Microsoft había tenido muy buenas conferencias últimamente, y con base a hechos y a hacer las cosas y a sacar las cosas que anuncian, porque Microsoft ya tiene una fama de que no saca lo que anuncia medio siniestra. Habían demostrado que querían hacer las cosas mejor. Esta conferencia fue un paso para atrás. La verdad, esta conferencia fue un paso para atrás. Híjole, banda. Bueno, ni modo. No todas las conferencias pueden ser espectaculares. Eso sí, vimos muchos avioncitos, como dice. Vimos algunos coches ahí correr en Forza Horizon. Vimos un tramo largo de Psychonauts 2. Pero, o sea, estamos de acuerdo que Psychonauts 2 va a ser un juego que van a comprar 3 pelados. No es un juego mainstream. No, ni cerca de ser Halo, ni cerca de ser Gears of War, ni siquiera Age of Empires, que no vimos nada de nada. Nada más vimos un mini documental de cómo chingados funciona una catapulta. Pero bueno, ya nos vemos al rato en la tarde, banda, con Red Dead Redemption. Y el día de mañana a la 1 de la tarde nos vemos aquí para la apertura de la Gamescom. Ahí acompañar al Doritos Pope en su conferencia. Y pues chingón, muchas gracias Gastirri, Luis, muchas gracias Panda, también Diego, que anduvo por acá, la gente que estuvo entrando y saliendo, incluyendo los pendejos bots que como chingan la burra. Y pues a la gente que estuvo entrando y saliendo también se aprecia muchísimo. Nos vemos en la tarde con Red Dead Redemption 2. Mañana igual a la 1 de la tarde para la apertura de la Gamescom. Espero que esa le tengo más fe, porque las conferencias del Doritos Pope, la neta, con todo y que son un comercial gigantesco, aún así tienen mucho mejor ritmo. El Doritos Pope sabe hacer conferencias, así es que la de mañana va a estar chida. ¡Viva México! Welcome to the Forza Horizon Festival. You gotta go fast. Tenía que haber el paisano estereotípico. Tenía que estar. Ya, cuídense muchísimo. Tengan una excelente tarde, banda. Buen provecho también, porque si ya van a comer, o ya comieron, o como yo, que apenas voy a ver qué chingados, pero ya te tengo que dar de comer al perro, pues ya, cuídense. Una excelente tarde, banda. Bye.